Hi everyone, it's NonnaGrace, and I'm from Western New York. I sure am frazzled a little because I came out here and what did I forgot my paper. Then as I'm going, Jim goes, battery too, because the battery died, so I brought the other battery and the charger. I need to plug this one in so that it's
and of course
be
you
ready.
Got a phone call just
and then
before.
a phone call just before. I was just about ready to come out here. Well, today we have a little video to put in, and it's Jim repairing a helmet for a motorcycle. So if you have a helmet that goes bad and you want to know how to fix it, because he'll show what happened to his, and he will show how he fixed it.
Luckily, the screws stayed within it, and they didn't fall out.
Because otherwise, you would have had to find some screws. And
and they were so tiny, I don't think I could
good.
ever found any.
Jim came into the house with his helmet, and I go, "What are you doing?" And he said it was falling apart, so he's going to fix it his way that he wants.
This is the piece that holds the chin part on the helmet. Goes up in here. All the screws came loose. It was falling apart when I stopped to get gas. So I figured I'd take it apart and fix it when I got home. As long as the one side the screws came loose, I'm thinking maybe the other side they might. So I'm going to take that apart, and I'm going to put Loctite or Vibratite on all the screws so that hopefully they stay in there from now on.
If you have a helmet that's modular that is falling apart, this might be the reason.
And it might be a way for you to fix it also.
The little thing on the side, that's Cardo. And somebody said, "I see you have Cardo," and we had just gotten Cardo, and I didn't know what Cardo was. And every time you wanted to do something or change something in it, you have to say, "Hey, Cardo." And it's like, couldn't remember what the darn thing's name was.
And you have to say it in a certain way. If you say it in the wrong way, it doesn't listen. It's kind of like the Alex and
Alexa.
Well, I don't say it quite like that because it's.
She might hear you.
Yeah.
She whispers. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you how she whispers. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 2:54 p.m.
That's cute. Do you whisper to her?
I whispered to her. Yesterday I whispered, but I whispered too loud. You have to whisper very quiet. And then she will answer a whisper. Anita is the one that told me. Because I guess her grandson was sleeping, and he likes to have the Alexa playing to music while he's sleeping. And she was hearing it through the monitors. Told Alexa to stop playing.
This side didn't come apart, but I want to make sure that it doesn't any time in the future.
Show the bottle so they can see it real good in case they really want to know what it is. It's itty bitty, the bottle is.
Yep. So that side's done. Now I have to do this side, and I have to install it too. And it has to go in a certain way because this shape has to fit this shape down here. So this goes in there just like that. Now I have to get a screw in there first. For this first one, I have to use gravity. Gravity tends to make everything want to fall unless you have it laying flat. Now that the first one is in,
the others will go in.
Then the others I can do like this.
Jake wants in. I'm going to have to go let the dog in. I'll let him in as soon as you're done. So if you hear a dog barking, it's because Jake wants in.
Make sure they're all good and tight.
And these are the little screws that go into the jaw part to hold it.
Lock that in place just like if you were wearing it. Now I can fit that back down in. So this one had Loctite on it at one time. You can see the blue on it. They make different forms. The blue is a removable. They make a red that is
permanent.
Kind of permanent. You have to use a lot of heat to get it to release. But I like the semi-permanent. It takes a lot of extra effort to unscrew them, but at least you can do it without putting a lot of heat to it.
And those you don't want them to unscrew anyways.
No.
Otherwise it'll fall apart again when you go get gas.
Or
just plain old fall apart.
Yeah.
Could be riding in it. Something could fall out.
You could.
Ooh, that would be awful. That's like when I lost my glasses. You're going down the road, you'll never find it.
Yep.
So that's the little extra video for today's video. How to fix your helmet. Oh, he's got to put his guard back on.
Put the face shield back on.
How's that go? That got different screws, or is that just snap in?
No, it kind of snaps. There's a lock. You pull this back, and it opens up a slot up here. And there's a tab on the top of the shield.
And that goes in there.
And that goes in that hole. Just put it in there, release. You're not supposed to use any tools. Have to use tools to get this one off, because everything was tight and was in the wrong place. I had to use a tool to get it to loosen up.
But otherwise you should be able to just do it.
Should be able to just do it like that. Now it's back.
Somebody's binging.
Now it works again.
Yep. There you go. Oh, somebody's binging me. Who's binging? Who's binging? These I get messenger, I get bings. And, oh, hello. Sherry's talking to me. I shall talk to her. Well, today we're going to talk about retirement. I was watching TED Talks, and I watched TED Talks on retirement. I watched it on death, and I watched it on cleaning. I watched a lot of TED Talks, but the one that really I think is most people would be interested in is knowing about retirement. And the fact that when you're going to retire, they always talk about your finances. Have your finances in order before you retire. Well, you know, they have to talk about that because it's important. But they should also mention the psychological part of retiring. If you're retired, it's something that you have looked forward to. And if you're not retired, you're looking forward to it. But anyways, retirement has actually approximately 4 different phases that the TED Talk said it would have. And the phases were, phase 1 is you're free. You can do whatever you want. It's like a big long vacation. You can just sleep in if you want to sleep in. You don't have to have a routine of any kind. You just do whatever you want to do. Well, that's fun for about a year, sometimes a little longer. It depends on the person. And then you go into phase 2, which phase 2, after phase 2, you start to feel bored. You don't know exactly what you want to do. You're enjoying your retirement, but you're not enjoying your retirement. And this is where you find that you've lost your routine. You don't have a routine anymore. Unless you have animals, you kind of have to have a routine because they expect you to feed them and they expect to be let out. Like my chickens, I have to let them out every day. And the dog has to go potty every day or several times. And so
if you don't own a lot of property, you still have the property maintenance that you have to do every day.
Right. So your routine is changing. You lose routine. Your identity, well, your identity is based on your job usually, because somebody will say, so what do you do? And if you say, I'm retired, they go, oh. You lose your identity, and that's usually based on your job. So like a lot of people that would be homemakers, they hate to say they're homemakers. Just say you're a
domestic
engineer. That's right. And it sounds a lot more impressive because your job is what people will give you your identity to. Your relationships sometimes are going down the hill, or you had relationships with people that you worked with, and you don't see them anymore. So now you don't have anything in common with them, really. Your purpose, the purpose for getting up and going to work, is gone. And sometimes you're in charge of a group of people, so you lose your power. That's another part that's lost. So, and then there's the 3 Ds that they talk about. This is about the time that somebody decides to divorce you. This is when people get depressed. And this is when your physical health declines. It's sort of sad. And then you have fear and anxiety and depression along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you go into phase 3. That's phase 2. Phase 3, well, now you're deciding that enough is enough. I'm not going to be depressed anymore. It's your trial and error phase. It's where you decide you're going to maybe get a job. I must be in phase 3.
Must be.
Must be, because
I'm
feeling like I'm not important anymore, and you're losing your identity, which I've lost. I feel like I don't have any fun things to do. You're searching all the time for meaningful things, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You might have hobbies, and you feel like you're maybe not the best at the hobby, but you keep trying, and you hope that you're improving as you do it. And then if you don't keep trying, guess what happens? You'll slip back to phase 2, which will make you feel that you'd have no routine, identity, relationship, purpose, or power. Those things would be gone. You'll be back in that. But then there's the phase 4. Phase 4 is the happiest phase of all, if we reach phase 4, which means that you're satisfied with all that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're phase 4, you're reinventing and you're rewinding. And I've got a very hoarse voice, and Jim was saying it's the time of year. I must have allergies to something.
Something.
Or I haven't talked enough. Probably both.
Could be both. I've noticed when I've been on the way to work or way home on a motorcycle, I can smell the maple leaves no matter where I'm at, whether there's any around or not. It's just leaves? Something that's in the air. It's a smell that I like the smell, but I smell it everywhere.
When I was on the motorcycle the one time and we were traveling, it was when the locust was in bloom. And I could smell, it smelled like baby powder to me. I was smelling all those smells. When you're on the motorcycle, you smell a lot of smells. Well, are you ready for retirement? If you are. I don't know why those people retire at early age, because it's only fun for a little while. And I said to Jim that the retirement is backwards. We should, when we're young, we should be retired, and when we're old, we should work.
Yep.
Because you have the energy that you don't have when you're old, because your body starts to break down. Well, I'm sorry for the hoarse voice. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.